Welcome to the Startup Grind.
So, being Female Leaders Month, we've got two great female leaders, as I mentioned before, and we're going to listen now and meet our next speaker, Leanne Eustace. I think that's pronounced correctly.
Yes.
And she's got a fantastic story, as good as Kiki's, and I'm looking forward to listen to what she has to say, and I've been so impressed with her story as well. And we already connected on LinkedIn, I think it was a couple of weeks ago as well. So thank you for that, for accepting the invitation. So can we please welcome Leanne? How are you feeling?
I'm fine, how are you?
Okay. Oh, not too bad, thanks.
Good.
It's a nice day, so it's great to meet new people as well. And it's great to meet you as well. So could we perhaps start by saying who you are, where you were born, just to give a bit of a background about yourself, so that other people can have but I'll shut that now.
Okay. Your pronunciation is Leanne Eustace. So I was born in Oxford, and my parents moved down to Wales, so I came down here for school. When I was 16, well 15, I thought I knew best and moved out and rented a house and set off on my own career very early. So I actually left school with 11 GCSEs. So that's very briefly my
That's a lot of GCSEs. I know a few people that only left with one or two. So
it was a few GCSEs, luckily.
So what interest did you have at school back then? Was there anything in particular, or anything which any science or anything like that? Like Kiki, I did actually like school. I had a good friendship group. It was really good. I didn't really want to be the normal academic, which sounds very familiar, but I didn't want to do my A-levels. I didn't particularly want to go to college or university and have a lot of debt, which then I figured I would just have to pay back myself. So I wanted to take the sort of alternate route to where I am today. So what happened after you left school then?
Well, I did the usual. I worked in Boots and I was a waitress. I went to Centre Parks, which I actually still go on holiday there because I love it. So I worked there as a waitress, and then I got a job in a marketing department for a consultancy. So I was doing some marketing, which I actually really loved, and I was so proud of myself. I had an article published and I was like, yes, this is it, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, this is brilliant. And much to my dismay, the accounts lady was actually off sick, so they asked me if I'd go downstairs, and obviously because I was the youngest in there at the time, you need to come downstairs, you need to help in the accounts team. And I did kick up a little bit of a stink because I didn't want to do accounts, I wanted to do marketing, I didn't want to go in there, but I was employed, so I went down and did my dutiful job and did accounts, and I don't know what happened, but it kind of brought out my inner geek, and I absolutely just fell in love with accounts, and I've literally been working in it since then. So since I was about 17 years old, I've been in accounts.
As you say, numbers don't lie.
I think you do either love it or you hate it, and yeah, I loved it. So I went from there. I stayed with them for a few years, and they didn't have the finance to train me, so I actually looked for a scheme, and in Wales you guys had a scheme where if you were employed in an accounts position, they would offer you free AAT. So I got a purchase ledger job. It was actually in Havana Bakery, so I got a purchase ledger position. I went into college, so I was working full time and I studied part time, and did my AAT and just wanted more and more. So exactly what Kiki was saying, just wanted progression, wanted growth for myself. So I worked my way up. I was the management accountant for Masquerades and absolutely loved it there. I was there for a long time and got up to be a financial director within National Britannia. So at the time everyone told me, you'll never get that job, you're a girl and you're too young and you're not going to get it, and I did. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. But then I found that as a finance director, for me, I was pegged into a little box where you could make certain decisions and then everything else up to the board of directors.
So I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to.
So is that when you decided to kind of start your own business?
No, actually, then basically I did my AAT and I was doing my ACCA training as well with a financial training company which turned into Capman here in Cardiff, and they actually asked me if I wanted to teach some AAT, so I taught some AAT instead, and it was awesome. It was really good. I loved helping people to grow and develop and understand what it was and kind of pass on the passion. So I loved that, and then alongside teaching, I built up a kind of pool of clients that I would help and do their self-assessments or their year ends and little bits and pieces. And it came to the point where I physically couldn't do both anymore. So I had to kind of make a decision, which for me was really hard. That I had enough money saved that I could. I basically built a house in the meantime, so I had enough money to make
small thing,
just a little thing thrown in there. So I had enough money that meant that for 6 months, if I didn't have any income, I could still pay my mortgage. So I literally gave up my job and went for it, and yeah, made Accounted For happen.
Well done. So, once you started your business, what challenges did you face? Because I'm sure you needed different skills to run a startup, not just the technical.
Yeah, in accounts, obviously I was only 23 at the time then, and it was a very male-dominated environment, ridiculously so. So when I was going to meetings or pitching to clients, it was a comment that was made to me a lot. One was my age, and the second was I was female. So I was completely out of the sort of norm for the industry I was in and for my sector. So I went in anyway, and I got clients. I think it just made me more determined to succeed. So grew it, had some clients come in, literally grew it to the point where I actually physically couldn't do everything myself, and took on our first employee, who is actually still with us today. He still works for us, so yeah, it's good. And that's kind of how.
So is that why you say you like challenges?
I do like challenges. Yeah.
Great. Challenges like you mentioned, it's kind of having a mentor without seeing anyone. So in some ways saying, but I'm not going to talk about challenges because perhaps you know more about that than I do. So what were the main challenges with your startup? What was something which you today you can remember that?
To be honest, I think one of my main challenges was actually fear. So it's the fear of, if I don't succeed, am I going to get another job? Am I going to look like an idiot because I haven't made this business happen? And that was then, this is actually what I'm going to do. And once I set my mind on something, that was probably my biggest fear, it not succeeding. But then that fear kind of gave me the drive to actually make it happen. So that was probably my biggest challenge. Taking on my first employee was also a big challenge, because that for me meant like an additional stress. So if my customers don't pay me, how am I going to pay my team? How's that going to happen? How's that going to have an effect on me? Obviously I would always take a back seat and anything like that. So how am I going to manage all this and make sure it actually happens?
Yes, that's how I feel as well. So, and from the business point of view, you grew your customer base, and are they all South Wales based?
No, we actually have clients all over the UK. Obviously, a lot of them are around Cardiff. Well, within about 50 miles of Cardiff, probably the bulk of them. But a lot of our clients now are liking to have telephone calls and Skype meetings rather than face to face. So we're not finding that travel or location is really an issue, which has, over the last 10 years, that has changed dramatically. Before, everybody wanted to meet you and everybody wanted a face-to-face meeting before they would even do business, or when you're completing something. So we use a lot of different types of communication and technology now compared to when we started.
And you mentioned being a female. Is that now that everyone knows who you are? And is your customer base mainly female, or does it matter? Or
it doesn't matter at all. No, it doesn't matter at all. And I think, to be honest, we have quite a good balance between male and female clients. If anything, I'd probably say we have a slightly higher percentage of male clients if I had to actually, put my money on it. But that works really well, and we have built up a really good relationship with all of our clients. So we're up to just under 500 clients at the moment, and I've got a team of 15 people. So we have a really good team, a really good, a strong foundation, and some fantastic clients that we work with.
So in terms of the business, what's your plans for the business? What would you like to do with the business? Say, how would you see yourself in 5 years' time with the business?
I would have grown. I'm still not done. I'm still ready for my challenges, and the challenges keep on happening. So as far as I'm concerned, kind of throw it at us. Growth is fantastic, and I love the fact that we're able to give back as well. So, for example, at the moment we're actually taking on apprentices. So we've taken on some apprentices. We've got training schemes. We're an AAT accredited employer, so that we can actually help people that are in the position where I was when I was 16 and 17, actually wanting to to prove myself and to achieve my goals today.
That's great. I'm sure everyone, as you said, all your employees are quite happy and they enjoy working with you.
We'll soon find out after this.
So, in terms of the future, you mentioned you want to grow. Did you always want to be based in Cardiff, or would you like to grow internationally? Is that something you have in mind, or potentially?
Never say never. At the moment, I don't think that you would necessarily need offices all over in different cities of the UK simply because of technology. But at the same time, other offices might be more convenient and perhaps open up growth opportunities within that local economy.
And in terms of because I'm not from the world of accountancy, but do you have a specific market that you tend to operate, or is it agnostic?
Some people do, so some accountants do specialise. We actually are a general accounts practice, so we do anything and everything effectively, from year ends and self-assessments to payroll, credit control, bookkeeping, back returns, and company secretarial services. So how we work is, what we found originally was a lot of people that came over to us were either unhappy because of how long their accountant takes to do the work, or how much they were being charged, or they felt stupid when they were asking their accountant a question, which to me is upsetting. Every business, if they know their accounts, that's what's going to help them grow and help them achieve their goals. So the more understanding they have about their accounts, the better they're going to do. So we tailor ourselves to actually meet our clients' needs. So if somebody wants us to work in their offices and do their bookkeeping, we go and do that. If somebody wants us to run their whole accounts team, we have the whole accounts team sorted. Or again, if somebody just wants us to do a self-assessment once a year, it's not a problem, and that's what we do.
Okay, so that's what makes you different. So that's great, because I've seen other business, they, on top of accountancy, they also offer other services like legal, maybe training, as you mentioned. But that's good to know that you do something which is so bespoke to any customer. It's great. Okay, so in terms of, you've mentioned that you always open to the challenges, but what would be something which you haven't seen it happen, but if it did happen, what would make you say, that's the next thing I want to do? Is there anything at all that you might have in the back of your mind? Or?
Our industry is changing dramatically. So apparently accountancy hasn't changed very much for numerous years, and we have GDPR, we have Making Tax Digital, and we have lots of laws and legislations that are coming out which will transform the world of accounts. We're already ahead of the game in that. So for that, well, for me, what we did with that was we looked at the legislation, what was going to happen. We've already converted, we're on stage one. Every single client of ours is ready for Making Tax Digital, which a lot of people are currently struggling with. So I would hope that the challenge for me is just staying on top of all that legislation and making sure we're on top of our game. If you don't move with the times, you're not going to be there.
It's always as as Kiki mentioned, being on top of technology, that's how
Exactly.
it is. So in terms of the female context, what would be your advice for someone that may be watching the video and maybe kind of see you as an inspiration for them? But what would you say to someone which may face similar challenges?
To be honest, I would honestly say I have 4 young children, so I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. I run a business with a team of 15 people and I work full time. If I can do it, honestly, anybody can do it. It's just having the determination and working hard and the belief that you can actually do it.
So it doesn't matter about the competition.
Find what you're good at and actually give somebody a reason to use you. And as long as you're bespoke in a certain things, so find your USP and use that as your selling point. And the same as Kiki said, really, the better you get to know your potential clients or the people you want to work with, if they have trust in you as well, you're onto a winner. You've just got to have a bit of faith.
Yes. We always need faith.
We do.
So, what would be an ideal scenario for you? Is there anything you would like to see happen in Wales to make it better? Anything you would like to change, or if you saw any change, is there anything that's
a very open-ended question. I don't really know. I like Cardiff. Cardiff is forever changing in its buildings, and we've got lots of new businesses coming to Cardiff. We've got lots of new ventures opening up. So, for me, I would just want to work with some more of them.
That's the best answer. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say before we finish? Okay. Well, I have to say it's been a pleasure speaking and meeting you as well.
You too.
And I've learned so much already. And we still can do a bit of Q&As as well.
Okay.
So maybe someone else will have better questions than I have. But it's been great talking to you, getting to know and knowing what motivates you and your challenges as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.